Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Sunday night, it's dark beer night, but which one are we going for? It's this one. It is Dawn Stealer from Staggeringly Good. And to give it its full name, it's Dawn Stealer from the Valley of the Moon. It's a black IPA and it weighs in at 6% ABV. And it's got some pretty cool, funky artwork, as you know. You've got the dinosaur with the hat on. And yeah, it kicks ass. I love the artwork from Staggeringly Good. It's great. And it says on the side of the can, Dawn Stealer from the Valley of the Moon. Nobody knows his true identity. He exists in the shadows where the rules do not apply. A hoppy mastermind somewhere between dark and light. Women love him, men admire him. A dangerous enigma from another place and time. All very cool, but it also says on the other side of the can that at Staggeringly Good Brewery we have a passion for quality beer. This Cascadian Dark Ale or Black IPA was double dry hopped with Amarillo BBC and Citra BBC to add a big fruity character to the roasted malt. Store upright in the fridge, drink fresh, and of course remember to drink. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. It's black as the ace of spades on the can, very little colour, I like it. Black, red and white, my colours. Chair kind of gives it away. T-shirts generally are black and red, generally. So yeah, and they're the colours of my mighty saris. So yeah, let's crack it open and see what we get. I've not had many black IPAs in the past, but I've enjoyed them. So pouring into the Teku glass today, and the pour is, it is black, it is dark. Oh, maybe it's not black. Okay. Well, it's been a while since I used this glass, you can tell. It's not clean at all. Oh, that's poor. Sorry. Yeah, let's try and knock some of them bubbles out, shall we? Look at the head on that! It's huge. So it is actually pretty dark. It's verging on black, but we've got far too much carbonation for my liking. Apologies. I feel like I should report myself to the Dirty Glass Mafia without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, it's black as the ace of spades. You've got a good solid 2.5 fingers of brownish head. It's neither tight nor compact. It's hanging around all right though, you know, surprisingly, given the nature of the glass. And yeah, giving it the old swirl, it looks to have a decent body to it, which many black IPAs that I've had in the past have suffered from slightly weaker bodies. Looking a little bit on the thin side, but that looks all right. So it looks all right. Let's have a whiff. Oh, now that messes with my head. It's dark, as you can see, but yeah, big fruity hop notes. Yeah, that's proper messing with my head. Most of them that I've had have always had the dark roasty malt character. Very little of the hops, but the hops hit you first. And then you get a robust malt behind it. That's messing with my head, man. As the Happy Mondays used to say, it's twisting my melon, man. Yeah, so it looks good. It smells really good. It goes against everything that my head says is to expect to smell. Big fruit. Then you get the roasted malt. It's crazy. Anyway, let's have a taste. Oh my word. Oh my word. That is really quite nice. That's the first black IPA that I've had where I can actually taste the hops properly before I get the malt. That's totally confused me. Okay, so the body, it's lighter than medium. It's not light. It's got a lovely mouthfeel. It's nice and smooth. It's velvety soft. And carbonation spot on, I have to say. It's not too heavy, it's not too light in that sense. And then the flavours. That's the crazy bit. It is that big citrus hop note. There is something a little bit kind of pineapple-y, a little bit mango-y. And I should not get that from a black beer. The roasted malts are there. They're in the background, and it is like a slightly mellow coffee note. And that's really screwing with me. It's really screwing with me. There's a nice level of bitterness to it. And dare I say it, a little bit of dankness sitting in the background. Oh my, that's really easy to drink. No sign of the 6% at all. It's fruity, it's toasted, it's warming. It's the love child of two styles that really, really, I never expected to work as well as they do. I like that. The finish, I'm going to say, it starts out bitter, and then it's the roasted malts. That's where you get most of the malt on the back end. The hops hit you in the main tasting, and then the hops, and then the malt kind of comes on the back end, starting with the bitterness, fading out into a mellow coffee. That shouldn't work, but it does. It really does. So, Dawn Stealer from the Valley of the Moon Noir IPA. What do I think of you? I like you a lot. But before I tell you exactly what I think of you, we're going to go to the Untapped scoreboard of joy, which gives it a total of 499 check-ins and an average of 3.87. I'm surprised it's quite so low, really, both on the check-ins and the average score, because that's something that's really, really rather good. So what does my scoreboard of joy look like? Well, it's like that. It's empty, void of anything really, apart from the name and the categories. And the categories of judgment are, as always, the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. So the looks, you know, when we take into account the fact that my glass was shocking, let's have a little bit more of that, just so we can appreciate it in all its glory. It's a good looking beer. It's black as the ace of spades. You've got a nice head, and now the head looks lovely. It's relatively tight and compact on the second pour. I think I was just a bit overexcited to get it in the glass. So yeah, it looks great. It looks like a good porter should, really. Nice sort of off-white brownish head, black as the ace of spades. There's very little light coming through that, only at the very bottom of the glass where it meets the stem. Am I getting any kind of mahogany notes? So yeah, I like the look of that. I like it a lot. It's going to get a full point on that one. The aroma really, really messed with my head. You know, when you see a beer that looks like that, you expect roasted malts, you expect coffee, maybe a bit of chocolate, some deep kind of dark fruits that have been steeping in some kind of bourbon or brandy or something like that. You get none of that. You get big citrus notes and a little bit of pineapple and some mango and other stone fruits before you even get a whiff of those darker roasted malts. It's a proper head scratcher, because my head tells me one thing, my nose tells me another. I really like it nonetheless. Is it perfect on the aroma? Good question. I like it a lot. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to give it the full point. The body, you know, for an IPA, the body's about right. Your head tells you to expect something a little bit heavier, but it's all right. You know, it's an IPA, therefore it's good. It's about right. I'd like it a little heavier, because like I say, it's on the lighter side of medium. I prefer it a little bit more towards the medium. I'm going to give it the 0.75 though. It's really rather good. And the taste. Oh my, the taste. Well, you start with what the nose tells you. You get the citrus and the pineapple and the mango. And then you get some pleasant bitterness that sits there before the roasted malts kind of come in and do their magic on the back end. It's everything your head says it shouldn't be, but it's everything that your nose says. So yeah, it works. Do I like it enough to give it a perfect score? It's an IPA. I know it's a black IPA, but I really, really like it. My head says give it full points. My heart says it's an IPA and it's got too much roasted malt. But then it's a black IPA, so I'm going to give it 0.75 because, like I say, my head says IPA and I want more of that juiciness. And I know it's a black IPA. I can hear you screaming at me now. I'm just more of a fan of a regular IPA or a porter on its own. You know, it's kind of what I like. I'm going to give it the 0.75 though because it's really rather good. And the finish on a regular IPA, I'm looking for juice and I'm looking for hops and longevity. On a dark beer like a porter or a stout, I'm looking for those complex roasted malts. Again, I'm looking for, longevity and a smooth kind of mellow finish. Two totally very different things. And for here, I get bitterness up from on the back end. I get a little bit of that fruity hop. Then it goes into those malts. And then it kind of just fades away into a real mellow, malty coffee joy. And then, as that goes away, I'm just getting left with that kind of pithiness and that little bit of dankness that the hops are bringing to the party. And what a party is, I like it. It's complex. It's different. It's not really like any black IPA I've ever had before. They've all been malt forward, and the hops have really kind of been very much underplayed and not utilised to their strength. But here, they play a merry dance. And I like it a lot on the finish. The finish is really quite long, complex, bitter, fruity, roasted malts. It's a cacophony of flavour. I can't give it anything less than the 4 points on the finish, which gives me a grand total of 4.5 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet of joy for moi. So there we go. Dawn Stealer from the Valley of the Moon Noir IPA. That's been the beer. I've been Nick. Those down there are the buttons, and I'll catch you again soon for another video. Bye.